Hello friends and colleagues, I'm Stanislav Chernonog, the author and creator of the online school, Vector Massage and Somatics, and today we will talk about waistline correction. To do this, we will ask our model to rise so that you can see how it will look standing up, and then compare it with how it will look lying down. So let's talk about the problems that primarily worry women. First, it is the lateral waistline. Here, women will be worried about the excess volume and the fact that it will change shape and hang in some types of clothing. In addition, it changes the tone and the skin may not look dense enough, and accordingly, not look its best. A very significant problem is the edge lines. Many people do not think about it, but it is really important to have a beautiful, well-defined line of ribs. And it is very important, of course, to work with the middle of the abdomen, because we see that the tone of the midline indicates that the abdomen is sinking. This suggests that there are difficulties with the intestines. Our brain perceives a picture and understands what symptoms are behind these changes in appearance, and if we turn our model sideways, we will see the following problem. First, this fold here speaks of changes in posture, but it will still be perceived as a visually incorrect structure. In addition, we see that the stomach is dislodged and to some extent lowered. So let's go to the couch to deal with the problems that we just noted. Let's compare this to a standing position. We see that the sides are not so much sagging, the stomach is slightly lifted up and generally looks much more aesthetically attractive. In this sense, we understand that gravity is a very significant problem for us. When we talk about gravity, it is very important to work with the rib arches, the places where the diaphragm is attached. Here we see that our model has a very acute reaction. First of all, it's ticklish. Secondly, it's a very unpleasant feeling. Accordingly, it is very important to work with these places until such a reaction, pain, and ticklishness passes. Some may have an emotional reaction. The next place that you definitely need to work on is the lateral surface of the abdomen. Here we must remember that there is a muscle that attaches to the inner edge of the ilium, and it is with these muscles that we work in order to bring them into proper condition. In addition, when we talk about the costal arches and the lower extremities, we must remember the attachment points along the pubic bone and along the costal arches of the rectus abdominis muscle, and not work with it separately. Many people say that shea butter for the stomach is not effective and is very painful. In fact, people simply do not know how to do it, because in order for the abdomen to come to the right state, it is necessary to understand what structures you are working with and why they, quote-unquote, broke down. Now, unfortunately, my model is not experiencing the most pleasant feeling. This is due to the fact that there is an inflammatory process in the places I'm working with, and this inflammatory process also arose for a reason. This inflammatory process is associated with the fact that some structures do not work correctly. For example, here at the places of attachment of the rectus abdominis muscle, there is a violation along the superficial frontal line. It is very important to work out the entire superficial frontal line in order to remove problems along the rectus abdominis muscle, and so the stomach does not bulge out. Similarly, it is important to work out both the pubic bone and the anterior surface of the thigh. The same is true when we talk about the side surface of the case. We must understand that the situation in many cases is connected not only with the state of the intestine, but also with the state of how a person is located in space. My model has a completely distinct pelvic distortion, and accordingly, if we do not take this into account in our work, we are unlikely to achieve good results. There you do everything right. One more movement just along the skew of the pelvis, we go into the square muscles of the lower back. We begin to dissolve, let go, breathe, 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 breathe. Accordingly, at the moment when we lower this tense place, we bring the inflamed muscles into the correct state, and the body begins to work better. But the main thing here is that there is a place where the lower back is stretched, elongated in this place, and at the moment when we start working with this place, the body experiences anxiety. Exactly due to this anxiety, they are cured. An excellent movement that I can recommend to you is the movement of stretching and detaching the various layers of the abdominal wall musculature. With special attention, it should be used for people who have lower back problems. Here we have found a place of acute pain in the upper abdomen. This is not a characteristic zone, and it is a disease in the upper abdomen that is the tool through which we can significantly lift the abdomen up and change its shape. The fact is that the body usually marks those places where there are difficulties, and at the moment when we start working with painful places, it is very important not to make it more uncomfortable, but to remove the discomfort. When we remove the pain, the body recovers. Most people are not very willing to let other people touch their stomach. Most people are quite sensitive to this area. But at the same time, the abdominal area and internal organs, it is extremely important for human health. Be sure to write whether you had an experience when you were given a massage, whether you had an experience when someone touched your stomach and it was unpleasant or it went well. Tell us about your positive and negative experiences in the comments. I'm sure that our readers will be extremely interested in reading all of this. It is definitely good if you work on the side. Please turn to the side. The lower leg is straight. The upper leg is bent. Of course, it is a very good movement. And pay attention to the fact that my patient reacts quite acutely. The models are tickled. This is normal for such areas, and it is very important that you are able to work with tickling and understand the reasons why it occurs. It is not tickling right now, but there are places where it does tickle. We can remove this ticklishness pretty quickly. Doing this massage that I showed, doing it once a week for about 45 minutes, after a month you will find that the waist has changed significantly. It is very important to understand what you are doing, why you are doing it, and it is important to understand the means of performing the task, and more importantly, safety techniques. Which areas are dangerous, which areas are effective, and which areas need to be worked with great care. In addition, for the first time, I recommend limiting yourself to about 15 minutes, and after a while, go out for a duration of up to 45 minutes. Once you have watched this video, you will have seen that doing massage is quite a simple activity. So be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel in order not to miss out on any of our next videos dedicated specifically to the front of the thigh. See you again, friends, and until next time, take care.